Good morning, everybody. We are going to sing. We're going to sing at the beginning of our service, and if you look in your pew backs, you'll see a teal hymnal. If you see that teal hymnal, take it out and turn to number 1018 and rise in body and or spirit as we sing, "Come and Go With Me to That Land." Let's pick it up. 2, 3, 4, 1. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Let's sing it again, same words. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. You don't need those books, do you? Freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land. There'll be freedom in that land where I'm bound. They'll be singing in that land. Let's hear it. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land. They'll be singing in that land where I'm bound. Last time, come and go with me. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land. Come and go with me to that land where I'm bound. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you for getting us off to a rousing start, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Parish Brewster. We are a Unitarian Universalist welcoming congregation of people of diverse philosophies and beliefs, people of various cultures and races, sexual orientations, gender identities, abilities, and socioeconomic backgrounds. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your path, may this be a place of rest and restoration on your journey. For those of you who may be first-time visitors this morning, welcome. Welcome on this morning, which we make sacred by our presence together. A big welcome to people streaming. Let's give them a wave. And we are a little crowded this morning because I'm guessing we have a lot of people for our Memorial Garden service afterwards. So if you're in a pew and you're by yourself, can you scoot on in so that people can sit at the end of your pew? That would make it easier for visitors to join you mid-service. We want to give a big welcome to people who are also outside listening. Let's give the windows a wave. And I am Reverend Jessica Clay, happy to be welcoming you to the service this morning. I'm the minister here, and I'm welcoming you with Kevin Badanis, our music director, and Twinks Hastings, our Lifespan Religious Education Director. Also leading the service with us today are members of our Endowment Board and Finance Committee. Our services are recorded and available on our YouTube channel midweek. And what are we all wearing today? Masks. Are they below our noses? just give your mask a little check. If your mask tends to do a little slippy slidey, we have masks at each of our doors that have a wire on them, so you are welcome to go get one of those so it doesn't drop down. Because if it does, all of the loving people around you will gently remind you during the service. If you need a bathroom, it's right through this hallway to the right. We welcome all of the children at this service this morning, and we welcome all of the noises that they bring with them. We promise to try not to turn around and stare at your child if they are making a noise. Right, everyone? Okay. And please silence your cell phones. In community news announcements, Covenant Group's registrations is still continuing. If you haven't signed up, the link to the online registration form can be found in your weekly angle and on our website. Also, who's excited about Eats and Beats next Saturday? All right, who doesn't know what I'm talking about? A few people. Eats and Beats is a fundraiser for this church where we will have lunch together and listen to some great music outside by the Winslow House. Tickets are still available. The date is next Saturday from 11:30 to 2. We are praying for no rain. If it does rain, it will be moved to Sunday after the service. If you want to get a ticket, you are welcome to call the office or check your email, because it should be on the angle as well. Who here has filled out the poll about church attendance this fall? Okay, there's a few more people than last week, but still we're only at about 30-ish people. So I sent out this poll a couple weeks ago. It was in your angle again this week. So if you are a regular attender or someone streaming or thinking about attending, please fill out this poll so we can gauge your attendance, especially if we decide to move to 2 services. All are welcome to join us after this service today for our Memorial Garden service. It will be inside because of the weather, so what we're going to do when the service ends is take about a 15 or 20-minute break for people to go take care of any needs, maybe step outside for a little fresh air, and then we will come back into the sanctuary for that service, honoring all of the names on our Memorial Garden pillars. Who knows what next Sunday is? There we go. 10 points for you. Yes, it's our Animal Blessing Sunday, so you are welcome to come and bring your well-behaved pets. If your pet is not well-behaved, which one of mine definitely falls in that category, no shame there. It does not say anything about your parenting. You can bring a picture. And so that's one service next Sunday at 10 a.m. for our pet blessing service. Welcome to church this morning. It is so good to be together. Our call to worship this morning is A Place of Belonging and Caring by Kimberly Ann Tomzak Carlson. And before I read that, ushers, the right balcony is very open if anybody wants to go up there. If you're too crowded down here too, and you're able-bodied, the right balcony is wide open. It is not by chance that you arrived here today. You have been looking for something larger than yourself. Inside of you, there is a yearning, a calling, a hope for more, a desire for a place of belonging and caring. Through your struggles, someone nurtured you into being, instilling a belief in a shared purpose, a common yet precious resource that belongs to all of us when we share. And so you began seeking a beloved community, a people that does not put fences around love, a community that holds its arms open to the possibilities of love, a heart home to nourish your soul and share your gifts. Welcome home. Welcome to worship. I invite a member of our Endowment Board, Bob Flanagan, up to light our chalice. Our chalice lighting this morning is by Cynthia Landrum. As we kindle this flame, may it spark in each of us connection and commitment to this living tradition and to each other. That's fine.
Please rise in body and or spirit as we sing number 1 in our gray hymnal, May Nothing Evil Cross This Door. May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This heart through all the world grow chill will keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in.
Please join me in our affirmation. We believe in love.
Love is the doctrine of this church.
We believe in truth.
The quest for truth is a sacrament.
We believe in helping others.
And service is our prayer.
We believe in the sacredness of life.
To the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine.
All right, I'm going to invite all of our children and youth up to join me here on the chancel. Come on forward. Y'all can take a seat right on these steps, okay? Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing? A little tired. Awesome. You can stay, Dad, it's okay. Perfect. All right, everybody, we're going to talk about money this morning. Okay. So sometimes it's a little hard to talk about money in church because normally we are talking about justice and doing the right thing and our values, right? But sometimes we have to talk about money because we have to pay for our lights and our staff and our music and tune in our piano and all sorts of other things. And can anyone think where the money in the church might come from? Like, who pays for church? Lillian?
Well, I believe that, people of the church, donate, and I don't know.
Yeah, you're right? The people who are part of this community pay for the church.
People like this church that it's very cool and it's very wonderful.
People that like this church because it's very cool and it's very wonderful. You guys can join us up here if you want. It's okay. Or you can stay, whatever. People that like this church because it's very cool and very wonderful help pay for the church, and that's being part of a community. So we have different ways that people give to the church, but what we're talking about this morning is the endowment. So this is our endowment in my pocket. And can I have a volunteer to be the endowment holder? Leighton, great. So you stand up. You are going to be the endowment holder. So you stand right up here. She's taking the endowment. And the endowment comes from people who think this church is really cool and wonderful. And when they pass on, or when they want to give a gift, we put it, yes, all of the endowment, in a bank. Our endowment, the Bank of Endowment. And then we can use some of that money, the interest that we get from the bank, but we can't use what we put in. We can only use some of it, the interest that we make, to pay for some special projects. So we can use these $2. We're going to give them to Lillian, and we're going to use them for like a special event. Okay? Now, long ago, well, not long ago, but before most of you were born, we had to rebuild this whole sanctuary. Can you believe that? It was falling down, and if you stood here, paint would fall off the ceiling. Really, this happened in most of our lifetimes, but before you were born. And so we had to borrow, like, most of Leighton's money, like all of this. Well, not most of it, but a big chunk of Leighton's money from the endowment, and we used it to pay for you to build the sanctuary, okay? So you can stand up. So we bought a mortgage to pay for all the repairs on here. And then those people who were really cool and wonderful and loved First Parish paid back so much of this. That deserves a round of applause. We paid back over 20 years so much of that money, okay? So I'm going to get these facts wrong. Someone on the endowment will correct me. Maybe we borrowed like $500,000? Yeah, we borrowed about $500,000. Can you imagine what $500,000 looks like? Crazy. And now we only have $30,000 to pay back. And when we pay back, yeah, that's amazing. Thank you. When we pay back this $30,000 back into the endowment, and Leighton has all the money again, that means instead of just these $2, we're going to be able to use about $60,000 a year for special programs and different events at First Parish. How cool is that? Can you all think of some special events or things? If you had $60,000 to spend at church, what you would spend it on? Does anyone have an idea? Thank you. Yeah? Did you have an idea? Anyone have an idea?
I would do it for a contest.
A contest? Lillian would have a contest with the $60,000. To win them $60,000? Maybe. Emmett, you had an idea earlier. Do you want to share it? Can I share it? Emmett said he would build a brand new building for CYM programs. I thought that was a great idea. Jessica, you had an idea?
I think we would an official Quidditch pitch.
Jessica would like an official Quidditch pitch. Agreement down here. Oh, we have an idea over here. Awesome.
You can make the playground a little bigger and better.
We could fix our playground. That would be amazing. Good idea. All right, these are all great ideas. Let's sing our children out.
All right, thank you, Twinks. For those that are in the balcony, the left side is very popular. There is still a lot of seats on the right. So for those of you who are on the left side, maybe on the windowsill, you might want to move to the right. It's a better view. I see you waving. It's a better view on the right, I'm just saying, to actually be in seats. But your preference. And for anyone down here who wants to move up to the balcony, you can as well. Will you join me in a moment of meditation and prayer? Our prayer this morning is from Reverend Laura Horton Ludwig, and it's titled, What We Do Matters. So before I start reading it, I invite you to settle into your seats, cast your eyes down or close them. If you have something in your hands, set it down. Notice the noises around you, but you don't need to name them or assign any value to them. Just notice and let them pass through. As we breathe together. After our prayer this morning, we will sit for a few moments in silence, followed by singing Spirit of Life. Spirit of life and love, we are here because we believe what we do matters. We are here because we believe how we live our life matters. That with every act of kindness or meanness, courage or fear, love or hate, we are weaving the fabric of the universe that holds us all. We are here because we need encouragement, because we need strength, because so often we get distracted. We get in a rush. We don't think. We choose the easy way when the harder path is what our spirits truly long for. We are here because none of us is perfect, but together we inspire one another to try again, to keep moving forward. We are here because we have felt the stirrings of love and grace in our hearts and hands, and we crave more of that for ourselves, and not only for ourselves, for everyone. We are here because how we live matters. Amen.
I'm Howard Hayes, and I serve First Parish Brewster on the Endowment Board. I just want to say Twinks was such a blessing this morning. If you can explain endowment to a group of kids. And she did such a great job. I'm going to take half of what I was going to say and get rid of it. She was just wonderful. I enjoy my work on the endowment board because I believe that a well-established endowment fund is an essential component for a long-term institution like First Parish. And here at First Parish, our endowment fund is really our financial safety net, and it's our savings investment account, and it does also provide annually funds that we fulfill some of our dreams with. Today I had this sort of business thing prepared, which we're going to throw out the window, and I'm going to wing it. So if it seems a little choppy, it probably will be. But I came here today to ask for everybody's help, and I think Twinks really did a great job. And I'll just sort of throw a couple of details into what she said. 20 years ago, the endowment fund did fund a loan because we had a big bank mortgage of we owed $554,489, which for this church at that time was a tremendous amount of money. We had been lucky; a benefactor had given us a substantial amount of money, and we were able to pay off that mortgage and basically loaned a big chunk of our endowment fund to ourselves. So at the time, let's just let it be said that over the loan was for 30 years. Here we are, it's 20 years. This is our 20th anniversary of that loan, and we owe a little under $30,000. That's, I think, an amazing accomplishment in 20 years to have gotten that paid down to that level. I came here today to ask the members and friends of First Parish, there's a little stipulation in the loan that says that it just determines how we distribute funds on an annual basis. And if we can raise $30,000 in the next 2 months and pay off the balance of the loan, we can essentially double the amount of money that we contribute to special programs here at the church starting in the next fiscal year. So if we can, and doubling it would be about $27,000, $28,000 additional every year. So the endowment fund will be in a position to fund special programs at a level of around $60,000 going forward. So I came here today to really appeal to everyone to hopefully consider that and to remember that making a contribution to endowment, a lot of our members have done it during their lifetimes. Typically, people think of endowment gifts as part of their estate plan, but I'm asking that we try to find it within our resources to pay off this $30,000, hopefully by Thanksgiving. That's the target, because we'd like to have a big Thanksgiving celebration and burn the mortgage, so to speak. So I'm going to take this, which I don't think we really need to go through, and we'll just rip it up. And I want to bless Twinks endlessly for saying all the difficult things that I had to say. And I just hope that we can all find it in our resources to get the loan paid by Thanksgiving. Thank you very much.
I'm going to rip this up. My name is Linda Bailey Davies. I was very honored to be asked to serve on the Endowment Board. My wife, Gloria, and I have been members for over 30 years now. We both had been estranged from our previous denominations for over 20 years because of anti-gay beliefs and practices. We had all but given up finding a church community that would welcome us, as we were, a loving, committed lesbian couple looking for a spiritual home. We were very closeted at the time and were only out to a handful of friends. Close friends of ours who attended First Parish urged us to just give it a chance. We finally did, and when we came, we were really stunned by Jim Robinson's first words. He said, if you're gay, if you're lesbian, we not only welcome you, we celebrate your relationships, and we want to celebrate with you. Well, tears, and we walked around for about 2 weeks like, did that really happen? Is that real? And it actually took us 3 weeks to come back, because we didn't believe it. We said to our friends, did you tell Jim we were coming? They said no, so this was the real deal. Our lives have been totally transformed by the love and support we have found here at First Parish. We have found the strength to live our lives openly and authentically. No more hidings, no more secrets anywhere. This has enriched our lives beyond belief. We even found the courage to join 7 other same-gender couples in a Massachusetts lawsuit to fight for the right to marry. This Massachusetts Supreme Court victory in November of 2003 paved the way for many other states to follow. And in 2015, the United States Supreme Court declared it the law of the land in all 52 states. We never could have joined this effort if it had not been for all the many ways First Parish nurtured and sustained us during this time. You marched with us, attended rallies, wrote letters, talked with your family and friends, and offered your love and encouragement every step of the way. How can we ever express our gratitude and thanks to this beloved congregation for being such an important part of this journey for LGBTQ people? No words nor any amount of money can ever be enough. Because we want to see First Parish thrive for generations to come, we have become members of the Homer P. Clark Legacy Society and plan to leave part of our estate to the Endowment Fund through the formation of a charitable remainder trust. All of us have stories to tell about what First Parish means to us and why we are grateful. If we could come together and pay off the remaining $30,000, then we'd have $60,000 a year to do all our programs. I'm really excited about that. So let's reach deep, show our gratitude for First Parish, and show what a difference it can make in our lives. Let's do it.
We sing, this doesn't pick up well when I have it on. We sing together now, Where Do We Come From, which is 10:03 in the teal hymnal. And the way that we'll do it is in a round. And so in order to do this round, first we will sing it together, and then we will split with these 2 sections over here starting, and these 2 sections over here, including both balconies. You're with this group, you're with this group. We'll sing together. And when we get to the end, repeat the final phrase over and over and over again, or else the round never ends. We're singing together. I have a pitch. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we go? Again. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we? Moving on. Where do we come from? Again. Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. And now the first two sections. Ready? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we go? Again. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we? And now these two sections. Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we from? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Repeat. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery.
I think that was going to end so quickly. My name is Topper Roth. I'm a relatively new member of the Endowment Board, having attended my first meeting this past July. I accepted the invitation to join the Endowment Board because I wanted to participate in the joyful process of strengthening the Unitarian Universalist movement here in Brewster through the financial support that the Endowment Board provides for worthwhile activities and projects. A few years ago, Reverend Clay invited us to participate in a series of so-called beloved conversations aimed at providing education about and personal focus on the history of race relations here in the United States from the time the first black people were imported from Africa against their will through the present. Participating in this program compelled me to re-examine questions and issues that I thought I had settled for myself decades ago, and helped me see the unconscious ways in which racism can continue to influence my thoughts and reactions today. It also led me to dig deeper into a throwaway line regarding my great-great-great-great-grandfather, one Cornelius Peterson of New Jersey, back in the 18th century. This was a line that I found a few years ago among my piles of family history material, and the line is, "He was a slaveholder." And that was it. No details, no description. And though I have since gathered many additional records and documents from the Somerset County, New Jersey Historical Society, and also corresponded with perhaps the only scholar in America whose special interest is slavery in New Jersey during the colonial period, At this point, I still have more questions than answers. How many enslaved people did Cornelius hold? How did he treat them? He was, after all, a founding member of the local Dutch Reformed congregation. As a professed Christian, how could he justify to himself the enslaving of other humans in the first place? What happened after he died to the people he had enslaved, and all his children except one had moved from the farmlands of central New Jersey to the Finger Lakes region of New York State? Questions. There's an indication in another of my documents that at least one enslaved person traveled with the family to the shores of Lake Cayuga. But what happened after that? Did descendants of the people that Cornelius Peterson enslaved make their way to New York City as Cornelius's descendants themselves did? And might I have unwittingly encountered them in some fashion during my own childhood and youth in New York? Questions, more questions than answers. My point today is that it was thanks to beloved conversations that I had the chance to begin to confront this aspect of my family's past and my own identity, deepening my sense of who I am and where I come from. And it is thanks to the Endowment Fund that First Parish Brewster was able to sponsor the Beloved Conversations program. Just one example of the valuable things we can do with the resources of our Endowment Fund. Thank you.
My name is Susan Flaws, and I serve on the Finance Committee of the church. And thanks to Twinks and Howard, I don't have to say anything. I'll be brief. 33 years ago, in 1988, the then Board of Trustees voted to create an endowment committee, and the First Parish Brewster Endowment Fund was started with a grand total of $5,150. Today it is worth over $1 million. Over the next 9 years, from 1988 on, the committee worked to encourage gifts and bequests to the fund. Then, as you've heard, in 1997, we received a gift of $350,000 from the Homer Clark Fund. When that was added to our existing funds, we were able to borrow the $500,000 that you've heard about this morning. Since then, the fund has continued to grow, thanks to more gifts and bequests from members and friends. And actually, the amount that we have given over those years exceeds the amount of the Homer Clark gift. This has enabled us, over the 20 years, to distribute over $258,000 in programs and other items. And in your order of service, there's a brochure which details all the things that we have been able to finance over those 20 years. As Howard, you will see also the total each year that we've been able to give on that sheet. It has risen over the years. But as Howard has said, and Twinks, once we pay off this $30,000, we will have well over $60,000 to distribute every year for the work, the programs, and the events that this church can sponsor. All of this morning's offertory will go toward paying off our loan. Every gift is important, no matter its size. This fund was built from small gifts and larger gifts. Let us come together and do this as we always have, together, and help celebrate the end of this payment. Thank you.
As you heard from Susan, the entirety of the offertory this morning will go towards paying off the endowment fund. So we ask you to give as you are able, and if you're able to give a little more, give that too. There are a couple ways you can give. You can put a check or cash into the offertory baskets. You can also text to give. The number is in your order of service. And for those of you online, you can go to our website and give that way as well. However you choose to give this morning, we thank you for your generosity. The offertory will now be gratefully collected.
Sing Gently was composed by American composer Eric Whitacre directly in response to the COVID pandemic. It reminds us to treat each other with kindness and with peace. Sing Gently.
Thank you, choir. How are we doing out there? Okay, good. Just wanted to do a check-in. Over this week, I am leading 3 memorials. This isn't a typical week for me. I just want to name that. And today, after the service, as you all know, we have our Memorial Garden service honoring the names of our beloveds who have died over the last couple of years that we have inscribed on our memorial pillars. In leading memorials, I always mention at the end what this person's legacy was, about what they leave behind, not just the memories, but the way they lived their life, how they lived their life, and how we can bring that into being. As I was reading a biography of Homer Clark, who was mentioned by Susan Flaws earlier, what struck me is that his friends described his personal motto as, in Latin, esse quam videri. You all know what that means, right? Just kidding, I don't speak Latin. Which means to be rather than to seem. To be rather than to seem. Homer Clark left a legacy in many different ways, but he never bragged about it. He was deeply connected to his ancestral roots here in Brewster, restoring the family home of the sea captain Isaac Clark's house, and he never wanted to brag about who he gave his money to and how he spent his time. He was a hard worker involved in politics in St. Paul, Minnesota, and in running his many businesses. He encouraged hard work to those who worked for him, and if you want to see a picture of who I'm talking about, he's on the back of your endowment pamphlet. He encouraged hard work in those who worked for him and did not believe that people got promotions solely on their last name or who they were connected to. He gave money to the American Unitarian Association, which is now the Unitarian Universalist Association, to Unity Church Unitarian in St. Paul, where his father was one of the founding members, and as many of you know, which is where I did my internship. And he also gave to this congregation. But the stipulation to this congregation, and I'm assuming many others of his philanthropic efforts, was that it went into effect when he passed away. He never wanted his name on a plaque. He probably would be embarrassed to be on the back of our pamphlet, to be honest. And he never wanted to be lauded for his philanthropy. In 1937, he made a gift of 50 shares of United States steel stock, say that 3 times fast, with a value of a little over $5,000 to the American Unitarian Association for the benefit of First Parish Brewster. And so it was to grow, the income was to be added to the principal until his death. And this was the Homer P. Clark Fund at the UUA, then the AUA. And after his death, the income was supposed to be paid to First Parish Brewster semi-annually. So he passed away in 1970 at the ripe old age of 102. I know, right? But the UUA didn't learn of his death until 1997, at which point the income had surpassed $350,000. This was placed in the endowment fund and allowed the congregation to borrow from it 3 years later to buy the Winslow House and Barn, which is across the street, which is where our offices and classrooms are. We have classrooms here as well, but some over there. Homer Clark gave because that was part of his guiding ethos. He gave because that's what he felt he was called to do. And that's why many of you have joined the Homer Clark Society, which means that you have left a bequest to First Parish Brewster in your will. And if some of you are wondering how to join, you can see anyone who was a speaker up here this morning after the service. And when I look at the long list of names of people who have given to the endowment, who have helped it to grow, I am full of gratitude for where we are as a congregation today. The guiding ethos of a lot of these people was that they gave because it was the right thing to do. They gave so that you would have pews and pew cushions to sit upon long after they were gone. They gave so that your buildings would be in a solid state, so that our congregation would live on long after they had passed. So as others have mentioned, I'll just go into a little bit of detail about what the endowment fund can support. It can support program enrichment, enhancement of building and grounds. We have very historic windows here. I've learned more about these windows in the years since I've been here than I thought I would ever know. Endowment has helped keep these windows in great shape. They're beautiful. I love them so much. It can also pay for community outreach and developing the wider mission of the UUA. And as you see from the pamphlet within your order of service, the endowment fund has provided a lot of support to this congregation over the years, because all of the people who gave to it gave not just so we could survive, but so we could thrive. And many of the names on our memorial pillars did the same thing. And sometimes people think, well, I just heard that endowment was worth over $1 million, so I don't really need to pledge, do I? Like, you're good, right? And that's not the case, because the endowment doesn't fund staff salaries except in case of an emergency. It doesn't fund our operating budget unless we have a vote of the congregation. It is for capital expenses and program expenses, as I just named, for things like beloved conversations, which Topper spoke so well about, or for equipment that we might need outside of the regular operating budget. We are live streaming right now because of the endowment fund. There are things that it could fund in the future, like, imagine it, new furniture for the Winslow House living room. Doesn't that sound exciting? For those of you who've never been in it, trust me when I say it's overdue. Things like tech equipment so we could stream videos in worship and have people participate in worship more fully who are off-site, more than just the one-way exchange that we have right now on YouTube. And the endowment is in case of emergency, like a pandemic, when we worried about our finances and took a congregational vote, allowing us to draw on it, because many congregations didn't have that safety net when that pandemic was first happening and we were building a budget for the next year. Giving to the endowment, making a pledge of record, generosity is about your legacy. about how this generosity makes you feel, about how important this community and the future of it is to you. And as we heard, no matter how big or small, we are hoping for 100% involvement in this campaign. Giving to Endowment and to this congregation invites us all to be rather than to seem. Because when you give, your name will not be posted on the front of the church. And for some of you, that's okay, but for some who may be giving a big amount, you might think, well, I'd like it to be named the Jessica Clay Pathway or something like that. But you'll get a thank you note from the Endowment Board and the knowledge that this is about digging in deep for the future of this congregation long after we're all gone. Ours is a liberal religious faith that has changed many lives. Has your life been changed by being a part of Unitarian Universalism? Let me hear you. All right. We want this for the children in our congregation, for those who haven't even found us yet, and we want this for people in 50 years and 100 years. As I said, Homer Clark lived to be 102. We should all be so lucky. But while you live right now, you have an invitation to consider what your legacy is and how you are bringing that into being on a daily basis. Is your legacy generosity in all the ways you are able? Is your legacy to be rather than to seem? When you are memorialized, what do you want your family and friends to say about you? And are they saying that right now? It's never too late to return to that North Star that guides us, to return to that inner calling towards the person we want to be, even if you're sitting in these pews and you're 86 years old, or if you're 11 years old. It's never too late. I hope that generosity is part of your legacy. Generosity in spirit, in pledges, in time, volunteering, generosity in your kindness towards humanity, towards people you meet on the street, towards people on the stores each day, and especially towards service workers right now. They can use a lot of generosity. Each day, with each interaction we take, we are leaving a legacy. What is yours? We are building a new way with each visitor that comes in these doors, that streams our worship, that listens from the memorial garden. Even if this is the only time you ever attend worship here, know that you are a part of the legacy of this congregation and of this faith. You are a different person right now than an hour ago when you came in. We believe in the interconnectedness of all human beings. We have a responsibility to each other. We belong to each other. May each of you go forth from this place and reflect on what you want your legacy to be in the world. And know it's never too late to begin. It is never too late to be rather than to seem. Amen.
Our final hymn is We Are Building a New Way. I think I left my mic in your room. Please rise in body and or spirit, 1017. Here we go. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, healing stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free from hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every. Peace and justice is our cry. Peace and justice is our cry. You can put those books down, right? Peace and justice is our cry. Oh, oh. Peace and justice is our cry. Without these, the world will die. Peace and justice is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. Ooh, oh, we are building a new way. Ooh, oh, we are building a new way. Feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. Amen.
Feel it in the air? Can you feel it in your heart? You don't need to look at me, look at each other. You're like, where is the minister? She is a ghost. We are building a new way, and all of us are needed. May you never forget that you are needed. And every day, every moment, you have a chance to create your own legacy. May you do this from kindness and generosity. Amen.